In Back Lake, a mysterious team gears up inside a van, talking through the plan. They've received intel that the target will be at a Hastings supermarket. At the same time, inside the store, the manager, Tarek, announces they're closing, then steals part of the store's money and stuffs it into his pants. You're watching Cine Digest, and this is Movie Recapped. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome stories. Benny goes to check the back of the store to see if any customers are left, but he's shocked to find one employee dead on the floor and another with his hands raised. Suddenly, Dr. Sterling appears behind him, points a gun at him, and orders him to lie down. Up front, someone is screaming, and Logan points his gun at everyone while filming with his other hand. They force Tarek out of his office, and at the same time, the team stops a customer who tries to escape. Spooky starts grabbing each shopper's head and using his psychic ability to scan their minds, but he can't find the target. Aaron announces over the speakers that this is an armed robbery. All doors are chained and anyone who touches a phone will be shot. One customer doesn't listen and is shot on the spot. When Spooky scans a middle-aged woman, she panics and tries to run. Spooky confirms she's the one. Aaron kills her with a single shot. In the cleaning aisle, Officer Chambers pretends to be a terrified customer in front of one of the thugs. As soon as the man turns to look for his partners, Chambers shoots him and uses his phone to call for backup. Aaron gets worried when his partner doesn't answer on the radio and heads to the cleaning aisle. Chambers spots him and opens fire. Logan and Aaron immediately return fire, forcing Chambers to flee and hide. Kane and Aaron find their teammate's body, while Chambers keeps sneaking around until he finds Spooky and shoots him several times. Aaron runs down the aisle to distract Chambers until Kane comes up behind the officer and kills him. Spooky dies in Aaron's arms, and Kane finds Chambers' phone and realizes the police have been alerted. The whole gang gathers and argues. Kane wants to leave, but Aaron insists they continue. The others agree because Spooky confirmed the target is inside the store, and Kane reluctantly goes along. Aaron uses toilet paper to soak up Spooky's blood and writes "Stay back" on the glass. The police finally arrive, and the gang releases all the customers Spooky already scanned. In the freezer, Sterling opens the middle-aged woman's body and finds a dangerous parasite that had been inside her for 8 years. Worried the other bodies might contain the same thing, Kane shoots them several more times just in case. After that, he orders employees Manny and Whitney to move Chambers' body and cover it. While doing so, Whitney notices the officer's gun. The gang takes all the hostages to the storage room and starts planning. Since Spooky is dead, Aaron believes they need a new observer and considers calling Charlotte, even though they split badly. Kane starts losing control and yells at the hostages over every word. Aaron decides that until they get Charlotte, they'll continue scanning the hostages using the snip test. Kane turns off the lights, and Aaron tells Sterling to continue the biopsies and document everything. Outside, the police question the released customers. Detective Seth gets worried when he learns his stepdaughter Whitney is still inside. He tries to control the situation, but Officer Moody reminds him this isn't a big city and resources are limited. In the parking lot, Seth and Moody find the van and are shocked by the amount of ammunition, along with a camera and a box of tapes. The van is registered to Aaron, a widower who used to work at a propulsion lab. Inside the store, the gang prepares the testing tools. Logan puts Spooky's body in the freezer and locks it, unaware that Chambers' body has started to move. Kane brings milk and forces the hostages to drink large amounts, even when one woman nearly throws up. When they're left alone, Whitney tells them about Chambers' gun and says she might be able to negotiate because she learned from Seth. The gang returns and Aaron introduces himself and his team to the hostages. He explains that one of them is infected with a dangerous substance and they won't let anyone go until they're sure everyone is clean.
Spooky was the only observer, and now they're forced to use a substitute test, milk, which changes acidity and causes a reaction in the infected. Kai is taken to another room and forced to write his name on a jar lid. Sterling comes back and says the samples are twice the size of anything they've seen before, all female and capable of reproducing. Aaron starts questioning Tarek about his personal life and makes him look at his hand. Tarek notices Sterling holding a knife to cut off his finger and panics. The gang points their guns at him and he offers them money for his freedom. He pulls the cash from his pants, but they're not interested and force him to sit.
Kane hears screaming in the storage room and goes to check. Manny admits he's been holding a cutter the whole time and cuts the tape off his hands. The hostages argue, and a teacher says he's an excellent shot. Benny shows him a shortcut to the freezer, and Manny gives him the cutter. Kane returns, and Manny asks to go to the bathroom, but Kane tells him to do it in the storage room. At that moment, Seth finally manages to call the store, and Aaron answers. Seth tries to threaten him with his past and his daughter, but Aaron tells him to bring Charlotte, who was arrested 2 weeks ago. He gives him his personal number and hangs up. After that, the gang grabs Tarek, and Sterling cuts off his pinky finger. The hostages hear him screaming, and Kane silences them. The finger is placed in a jar of ice, and they wait 2 minutes. There's no reaction, meaning Tarek is clean. At the same time, Seth watches the tapes. Sterling talks about an alien organism that arrived on a meteor and needs heat to survive. The only way to kill it is freezing, and even that takes hours. Moody interrupts and hands him Charlotte's file, revealing she's addicted to multiple substances. Aaron's file arrives too, showing he quit his job after being cleared of a manslaughter charge. The rest of the gang worked with him at the same lab and left with him, while all the other lab employees died. Another tape shows them running from a building as a creature roars, gunfire erupts, and someone dies for not running fast enough. Meanwhile, a cop escorts Charlotte out of jail and asks about her conflict with Aaron. She says she failed to help him without details. While he's driving, Charlotte slips out of the handcuffs using a wrist dislocation move. In the storage room, the teacher cuts himself free. Tarek puts his finger back into the jar. They're about to test Whitney, but she says she's the detective's stepdaughter. They don't care, but Benny volunteers. They cut off his finger and there's no reaction, so he's clean. Next, they test the woman who almost threw up earlier. After cutting her finger, she starts feeling sick. While waiting, Sterling and Aaron argue about Charlotte and her addiction. Logan notices the woman's finger growing back. The woman roars and the whole building shakes. In the freezer, Chambers' body mutates. The woman attacks them and throws them around. After a fight, Aaron stabs her in the neck. Sterling prepares for another biopsy. Kane worries about his teammates and runs. The teacher takes advantage of the chaos and escapes, finds the gun in the freezer. He accidentally fires it, waking up Chambers, who attacks and kills him. Both the gang and the police hear the gunshot. Kane and Logan find the teacher and finish him off. Mutated Chambers attacks, and they open fire on him. Charlotte arrives. Aaron finds Kane wounded and learns Logan is dead, and that Chambers is the king. Aaron kills him, revealing he was forced to do the same to his wife before. Chambers drags Logan's body away. Charlotte tells Seth she was infected before, but drugs prevented the infection from completing, giving her the ability to sense the creatures. In the storage room, the hostages attack Sterling and take her gun. Aaron finds Chambers and runs. Chambers kidnaps Manny. In the end, they realize Chambers isn't the king. Benny hears the message in the van and realizes Whitney was never tested. He points the gun at her. Whitney smiles and says she loves him as the veins in her face turn black. Benny screams and dies. And that's the end of today's movie. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cinedigest for more amazing stories with Movie Recapped.